All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're digging into some really thought-provoking ideas from Xu Feng of Life Chanyuan. He asks this question that kind of gets right to the heart of things. If pretty much everyone wants a heavenly kind of life, what's really stopping us from getting there? And let me tell you, his answer? It's probably not what you're thinking.
So the author kicks things off with this paradox that, I think a lot of us can relate to. We're all searching for a life of peace and harmony, that heaven on earth feeling. And yet, how many of us are actually living it? Not many, right? So what gives? What's the problem here?
It's so easy to point fingers, right? We blame our jobs, the state of the world, other people. But what this writing suggests is that the real obstacle, well, it's a lot closer to home. The thing blocking the way isn't out there, it's right here. It's us.
Okay, to really get this, we first have to take a hard look at what we even think heaven is, because according to the author, our whole picture of paradise might be totally upside down.
Think about it. When you picture heaven, what do you see? For a lot of people, it's basically our earthly wants turned up to 11. We're talking golden palaces, endless money, seeing all our relatives again, getting to do whatever we feel like. It's kind of just a fantasy version of the life we already know.
But here's where the author really pushes back. He says, no, that's not heaven, not even close. That's just our everyday desires and greed, dressed up in a shiny spiritual package. It's a total misunderstanding of what a heavenly existence is actually supposed to be.
He actually uses a pretty clever analogy to explain this. Picture this. You're at a super fancy hotel, and you say to the waiter, hey, bring me a delicious drink. What's the waiter going to do? Bring you tea, coffee, a cocktail? I mean, who knows? Your goal is so vague, you're never going to get what you want. And his point is, it's the exact same thing with heaven.
Okay, so if that common picture of heaven is all wrong, then what's the right one? Well, the vision the author lays out is, it's something else entirely. And just a heads up, it basically takes a wrecking ball to almost every single thing we take for granted in society.
See, his idea of heaven isn't about what's there, it's about what's gone. Just listen to this. A world with no countries, no political parties, no religions, no factions, no marriage or families as we know them, no private property or money, no police, no military, no laws or governments. I mean, it is a total teardown of the systems that run our entire world.
So what's left when you get rid of all that stuff? According to the author, what's left is true abundance. A world where you never have to worry about the basics: food, a roof over your head, your health, your safety, because all the systems that create scarcity and conflict are just gone.
Now that vision, it might sound amazing to you, or it might sound completely impossible. But here's the author's main point, and it's a big one. Getting there isn't about changing the world out there. It's about changing the world in here. And this is where things get really tough.
He actually breaks it down into 4 specific challenges, 4 things you'd have to commit to like right now. Number 1, say no to traditional marriage. 2, give up all your private property. 3, don't get involved in any religious or political groups. And this last one, man, this one is a real doozy. You have to stop forming special emotional connections or relationships that are just based on common interests.
And this really is the core question, isn't it? Could you actually live this way? I mean, really? Because the author's argument is that these are choices you can make for yourself, no matter where you are or when you're living. And if you find you can't, well, he says that's because your own consciousness just isn't up to the standard that heaven requires.
So, why is this so incredibly hard? The author says it's because we're caught in this massive tug of war. On the inside, our minds are still totally attached to all these worldly things. And on the outside, we're getting bombarded with temptations all day long. Money, power, status, fame, beauty. Our belief just isn't strong enough to hold up against all that pressure from a world that plays by a totally different set of rules.
And all of this brings us to the author's final, really powerful conclusion. See, this whole thing isn't about waiting around for some gate to magically swing open for us. It's about realizing who's been holding the key the entire time.
It really boils down to this one simple but huge idea. What's blocking us isn't some force out there in the universe. It's not some cosmic rule. The gatekeeper, it's always been us. So what exactly are the bars on this prison gate that we've built for ourselves? Well, according to this text, they're our deepest, most baked-in ideas, our traditional views on family and ownership, our old ways of thinking, our selfishness, and our stubborn attachment to our own point of view. Those are the real roadblocks.
So, As we wrap this up, the author leaves us with a really deep challenge, and I'm just going to pass it right along to you. If it's true that we are our own biggest barrier, then what are the specific ideas, attachments, or old habits that you're holding on to that might be blocking your own way? That's a big question, and definitely one worth thinking about.